Hello, this is Dr. Werner Vosloo from Restore BioClinic. This is about navigating the cell danger response in order to be consistent at treating chronic conditions, chronic illness, fibromyalgia, Lyme, mold illness, neurodegenerative conditions, even cancer, in a successful way with a good person-to-person success rate. It's very important that you understand the underlying principles that not only causes the condition, but also keeps the condition in place and creates that stuckness that leads to us calling it the chronic illnesses. So in the next few minutes, we'll review the foundational concepts in helping you understand what it is and what to do about it so that there can be very good person-to-person success rate in undoing the foundational tethers that keeps the cell danger response in chronic conditions in place. Very importantly is to understand that the cell danger response is a benign survival response. And because this is your body really trying hard to have you survive, the obstacles really sincerely guides the way once you understand the foundational rules of this benign survival response. Our mission is to delve deep into the root causes of chronic illness, leveraging cutting-edge science in the cell biology and epigenetics of the survival response. Let's explore the fundamental survival mechanisms of cells under threat and also how understanding and addressing it leads to significant health restoration. Understanding the cell danger response as the cellular response to various threats that compromises cellular integrity and function, and therefore the same for the person. This was originally described by Dr. Robert Navio, who is a medical researcher, and he really presented us with this concept as this is a defense and survival mechanism that cells use to protect themselves and also ensure survival. But survival comes at a cost. In this survival response, cells change their normal functions and shift their energies towards defense, thus negatively impacting the normal daily maintenance functions like detoxification, healing, growth, cell and membrane repair, and the immune system's normal operations. Under ideal circumstances, after the stress or infection or toxic exposure that triggered the CDR stops, resolution would lead to the body healing, detoxification resumes, inflammation and pain stops, fatigue is replaced with a sense of energy and well-being, and health returns. But what if, like a decent percentage of people, you went through a hard time with the onset of a chronic health condition that is due to the CDR survival response, and you've tried the appropriate diet, lifestyle changes, you've taken supplements, you've seen doctors, and you've taken the correct prescriptions, and you're still sick, and it's months or years or decades later. The causes that trigger the cell danger response can be initiated by a very wide range of triggers, including pathogens, these are typically infections, toxins, physical trauma, and most certainly psychosocial stress. Each of these disrupts cellular homeostasis and signals the initiation of the cell danger survival response. Specific examples include environmental toxins such as mold toxins, heavy metals, and other pollutants, biological infectious threats like viral, bacterial infections, and this includes Lyme, tick-borne illnesses, COVID, the flu, mono, chemical toxins that comes from agriculture, industry, and then most certainly in the body, chemical disturbances from poor nutrition, pharmacological interventions, too much stress. And then emotional or psychological stressors are also very important and very well established as triggering causes that signals the body to lead into the CDR survival response. Now, the problem is when the CDR does not turn off, when you remove the toxin, you treat the infection, and you heal the wound, or you overcome the emotional challenge. And instead of healing, this leads to chronic symptoms. it's really important to distinguish the difference between triggering and maintaining causes of the CDR. So first, triggering causes. Current medical approaches often focus on the symptoms your body produces in the various organ systems typically affected, and also discovering the triggering causes like stressful events, traumas, toxic exposures, infections, or illness. After the acute phase of the illness, these timeline events like a tick bite, mold exposure, flu-like syndromes as seen in COVID and mono are often less relevant in a few months or years' time after the chronic condition has set in. Certain features of the CDR survival response lead to problems that directly block the exit. For example, less bile flow and slower detoxification processes as a part of the energy conservation and resources reallocation of the CDR allows chemicals that cause oxidative damage to the cells like cadmium, mold toxins, viral particulates to accumulate on the cell membranes and inside the cell. Coupling that with a deliberate effort from the cells to adjust mitochondrial, immune, and peroxisomal function toward a more oxidative environment to defend you better against microbial invasion causes a very problematic increase in oxidative membrane damage. The problem is now a compounded one in addition to the set of problems that caused or started the CDR, for example, mold exposure and then COVID, leading to the chronic illness, or a surgery followed by loss of a loved one, or an insect bite, or food poisoning. Now the cell and mitochondrial membrane function are compromised by the oxidized lipids in the membranes, for example, malondialdehyde. Oxidized lipids not only causes chronic activation of the innate immune system using very similar cytokines as we find in Lyme disease, long COVID, vax injury, mold illness. The embedded oxidized lipids in the membranes damages DNA gene regions, which maintains inflammation and pain, and ultimately are strongly associated with sustaining the cell danger response. And the embedded oxidized lipids are now part of the continuation of the cell danger response signaling as it becomes a permanent part of the cell membrane. In modern day integrated medicine, the common strategies to undo the cell danger response includes superficial detoxification programs, broad spectrum antimicrobials for the reality of chronic infections, generic methylation support. This often asks the cell to do work that is outside of the scope of the CDR, causing side effects, detox reactions, and ripple effects that often are worse than the actual condition, leading to people stopping further treatments. And this is sometimes more intense than the actual condition that it was intended to treat. So when cells are stuck in protection and survival, they don't detox properly, and they don't want to detox properly because it's contrary to what they're being told to do in order to ensure your very survival. So ongoing or maintaining causes of the cell danger response are overlooked. And even though they are caused or brought about by the primary or triggering causes that we just talked about, are often what are the most relevant components of a chronic condition that you need to interrupt first before you can expect a change in cell and total function. Maintaining causes like cell membrane damage, oxidative stress, vitamin D dysregulation, reduced mitochondrial numbers, and also mitochondrial clumping in an effort to produce, less energy and more hydrogen peroxide or oxidative molecules are a very important feature of the CDR. And unlike triggering causes, you need labs and molecular studies to be able to define the cellular stuckness in the survival response. So the maintaining causes are not visible, or a timeline event like a tick bite or a stressful event or an accident or a toxic exposure. So the superficial detox, methylation protocols, peptides, bioidentical hormones, antibiotics, SIBO and MCAS treatments, binders, lymphatic drainage, deworming treatments, nutrient IVs, LDN may offer temporary relief, but often fail because they do not resolve the ongoing cellular threat response or restore normal cellular functions, which are essential for true and lasting healing from the cell inside to out. When cells run the CDR, it does not readily allow resources to be applied towards these, and this is again another very important opportunity for us to do better with regards to reversing the cell danger response. There are many advantages to phospholipid-driven detoxification. We use both oral and IV phospholipids that goes straight to the cell membrane, and it is way beyond simple cellular repair. Phospholipid therapy is a pivotal strategy in passive detoxification that helps to unwind the CDR without the adverse reactions commonly associated with detox and Herxheimer reactions. By integrating phospholipids into cell membranes, we facilitate a smoother, more efficient expulsion of toxins and dysfunctional cellular components, paving the way for healing and recovery, structurally and functionally. This happens passively, which allows the cells to heal without disobeying their instructions that the cell danger response needs to be maintained in order to survive. Comprehensive healing and immune support. With restored cellular function and balanced bodily systems, our approach allows for a more effective management of infections and microbial imbalances, correcting foundational issues such as mitochondrial dysfunction and membrane integrity allows the immune system and other body systems to function optimally and start doing their work toward the recovery process. This holistic recovery strategy ensures that treatments are not only effective in the short term, but also sustainable, reducing the likelihood of relapse or chronic symptomatology. Next is neuroregulation and autonomic nervous system balance. These are very strongly disrupted in the maintenance of the CDR can disrupt autonomic and nervous system balance, leading to a dominance of the sympathetic or fight and flight response. Our approach focuses on supporting the body to re-establish a balanced autonomic nervous system, particularly enhancing the parasympathetic response and the function of the vagus nerve. Restoring this balance is crucial not only for salutogenesis. This views the health as a point on a continuum that ranges from total ill health to complete wellness. This perspective encourages a focus on movement towards greater health wherever one starts on this continuum and exiting the CDR, but also for maintaining long-term health through proper coordination of bodily functions such as digestion and normalizing of inflammatory responses. So we employ several strategies to this end, as ultimately this is a very significant determining factor for success and healing. Now, key strategies to exit the CDR. First of all, epigenetic modifications are really important. The CDR is often sustained by epigenetic changes that alter gene expression, and these new gene expression patterns that help you survive because they promote inflammation, oxidation, fatigue. It's a very benign strategy, but it often gets stuck and stays stuck in survival mode, leading to normal efforts to heal that fails. By normalizing membrane function and removing cellular toxins and DNA adducts through specific oral and IV therapies that we do at Restore BioClinic, we can influence epigenetic signaling with a message that the cell is clean and it's whole and structure has been restored, and therefore it can resume business as normal. You know this approach is for you if you have done enough of the right types of treatments, lifestyle shifts, in order to expect to get better, but you are still sick. You're still waiting for your body to respond or change from sick survival mode to a healthy and easy, comfortable, normal life. Releasing the cell from its commitment to survival means that we need to remodel the cell and the mitochondrial membranes with IV phospholipids, provide specific IV nutrients like butyrate, and also use key medicines that play a critical role in modifying how DNA gene regions are expressed. Now, these changes are essential for shifting the body from a state of defense, CDR, to a state conducive to healing. By altering gene expression patterns that have been perpetuating your CDR, you open the door to healing. Another low-hanging fruit is to enhance bile flow and detoxification. Addressing bile flow is crucial for detox. It is the most efficient route of elimination for a whole host of man-made and natural, mostly fat-soluble toxins. Under the CDR, bile flow decreases, decreasing the elimination of toxins through and out, and contributing to ever-increasing tissue levels of toxins. Under normal circumstances, the reabsorption rate of toxins from toxic bile is about 95 to 97%, and this hinders effective detoxification. Our protocols ensure that bile flow is optimized and the toxins bile carries are expelled from the body effectively, reducing the reabsorption and thus facilitating true elimination after detoxification. This targeted approach not only improves overall detox efficacy, but also decreases the incidence of detox reactions as we decrease the reabsorption of toxic bile that is responsible for this very detoxification reactions. We use several strategies that reroutes bile toward elimination rather than reabsorption and recycling. Reach out to Restore BioClinic today to begin your personalized path to recovery. Our team is dedicated to guiding you through each step towards achieving optimal health after exiting the cell danger response. For more insights into our unique approach and patient success stories, follow us on YouTube or social media platforms. Please see below. Your journey to health can start here.